Yeah, so last year ETFs bought 500,000 Bitcoin. Again, remember the Bitcoin network only produced 165,000 Bitcoin. So it bought 3 times the total supply. Corporations bought 250,000 Bitcoin. Governments, I think this year could buy a couple 100,000 Bitcoin. So I think if you look at those 3 sources, I think they'll buy more than 1 million Bitcoin this year. And where is it going to come from? The only place it can come from is people who already hold Bitcoin. The only way they will sell is if the price goes up. That's why I'm so bullish on the market.
Sorry, government? Which branch of the government?
Look, the U.S. already established a strategic Bitcoin reserve, right? It already holds $17 billion in Bitcoin. And the executive order from President Trump told the Secretary of Commerce and the Secretary of Treasury to figure out ways to acquire more Bitcoin without impacting the tax holder. How could they do that? They could sell some of the gold that the U.S. has. They could sell other crypto assets that the U.S. had and plow that into Bitcoin. I think we're going to see that happen this year. I think the U.S. is going to increase, and not just the U.S. We found out that Abu Dhabi bought $500 million of Bitcoin. We've gotten calls from multiple other governments that are investigating Bitcoin. I think you're going to see 10, maybe more governments around the world make their first allocation to Bitcoin this year. It's happening. People aren't talking about it that much, but it's happening and it's a very big deal.
Hey, what's going up, bull runners? Welcome back to the channel. What if I told you that the system is hiding something big? The crypto market is buzzing, but behind the scenes, powerful players are pulling strings that could skyrocket your portfolio or leave you in the dust. XRP's price is teasing a massive breakout. Government insiders are jumping ship to lead a crypto lobby. Coinbase's CEO is saying crypto's about to invade your 401k, and a $4 trillion banking giant just made a move that screams blockchain takeover. Sounds like a conspiracy, right? But here's the truth. These aren't random events. They're signals of a seismic shift in crypto's future. The problem is that most investors are blind to what's coming. And if you miss this wave, you might regret it forever. The solution? Well, stick with me, because in the next few minutes, as I break down all of these headlines in plain English, show you why they matter, and reveal how you can ride the crypto surge. Urgency is real, folks. The market waits for no one. And you are a genius for being here today. And besides deep diving into those headlines and articles, we're also going to be jumping over to X to find out all of the breaking information happening in the financial news today. We will also check in at Forex Factory to find out the news that's going to be coming out tomorrow that you need to know about, all the red folder news. And at the end of the video, we will also be jumping into the XRP charts on TradingView, looking at our current resistance and our next resistance levels to be keeping a very close eye on. And if we potentially break that back to the downside, where is our support level we need to get to? We also have our long-term and short-term momentum waves. Things are really starting to heat up for our momentum on the weekly chart. But first, let's head over to CoinMarketCap and check out the overall health of the crypto market today. As we can see right here, we are coming in at $3.34 trillion. We are down 1.35% on the total market cap. As we take a look here on the 30-day chart, though, we are continuing with our upward bullish market structure for the crypto markets. We did reject off that $3.4 trillion level that we've been following along with. And when you zoom out on the yearly chart, we take a look, we did break above these highs here at the $3.24 trillion. So we do have new higher high, which is a fantastic thing. However, we may have a slight pullback here in the crypto markets to get a new higher low, maybe even testing back at the 3 trillion. But in reality, with the bullish momentum we have going on, looking at the weekly charts, we could see ourselves pushing back up into this $3.6 trillion level and then really surging up and going after these all-time highs at 3.7, so $3.8 trillion total market cap. Now, as you can see, we are definitely in bullish range, and we'll continue to follow this for you every day, so make sure you subscribe. Fear and Greed Index is coming in at 74 today. We're getting closer and closer to that extreme greed level of 75, which is right there. Yesterday was a 71. Last week was all the way at 53. So we're having event right now in the markets where people are really starting to surge back into the markets. Will we get a huge FOMO rally when retail actually joins in? Only time will tell. We'll continue monitoring that. Altcoin season index is still not performing very well. We are getting a little bit of pumps here and there from the altcoin season, but we're currently at 31 out of 100. Bitcoin season still as the list. Once we break this middle point here at 50, we start to get into altcoin season, but the real number is at 75. Once we get into 75, that's when we're super heated up on altcoin season. The reason for this is Bitcoin dominance is still leading the way. It's 61.5. It is down 1.28% though. This is actually down tremendously from a high of 66%. Checking in on the Bitcoin ETF tracker, as we can see, today has an outflow of $91 million. Now, yesterday had an inflow of $7 million, but this is the first day of outflows in the ETF markets all the way back since May 5th. And this is only the fourth outflow day in the last month. So we are still looking good. However, we are starting to have decreasing volume in this market. So it'll be interesting to see, do we have a recovery over the rest of this week? We need to surge back up above last week's full total of 920 million. Otherwise, this altcoin and Bitcoin season that we're experiencing right now could experience a failure. So we'll continue to track this. It has been a great leading indicator for both the pump and the dump to the downside for the Bitcoin market. Top 5 coins by total market cap right now. Bitcoin number 1, of course, at $2 trillion. Ethereum at number 2 at 314 billion. Tether taking back the number 3 spot. This has been a battle back and forth for the last 3 days. Tether currently sitting at number 3 at 150 billion. XRP with that drop below $2.58. Now at $149.9 billion is sitting in the 4th spot. But in reality, it's the 3rd real coin, Tether being a stable coin. Solana at number 5 did outpace BNB again. They have been back and forth the last couple of days as well. Solana sitting at 92 billion total market cap and BNB coming in at 91 billion. All right, news to watch for this upcoming week. Continued news tomorrow is going to be a huge morning. We got the core PPI information coming out, retail sales, PPI month over month, retail month over month. But the real massively important numbers that we're looking at is the unemployment claims. Will they be higher or lower than 229,000? If it is lower than 229,000, that is very, very positive news. We also recently saw that inflation is coming down 2.3% year over year. So will Fed Powell come out and finally give us what we want? A little bit of a hint that we are going to be reducing rates. Is he going to actually announce a reduction in rates tomorrow? No, we are not dropping tomorrow. Well, I mean, never say never. It is a possibility an emergency rate cut could happen. But the reality is he'll come out. And don't forget, him and Donald Trump have been feuding and dueling back and forth with this interest rate scenario. And Fed Powell is not giving in, even though he should, because in reality, inflation is down and we should be reducing rates. But Powell is just continuing to stick the knife inside of Trump's back. Then we have on Friday, preliminary consumer sentiment, the University of Michigan inflation expectations. So very, very big information coming out this week. And heading over to X to get the news for the day. Don't forget to follow us over on X, BULLRUNNERS. That's at BULLRUNNERS HQ. And don't forget, we are giving away $100 XRP every single week. Congratulations to Lord John 00420 for winning last week's XRP giveaway. If you would like to win this week's XRP giveaway, you can like this post, comment XRP below, and sign up for our Blowfin account using our affiliate link. The great thing is when you sign up there, you do get a 10% deposit bonus up to 50K. So you could actually be rewarded with $5,000 if you're going big. Winners are announced in our daily email newsletter on Sunday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern. You can also subscribe just to our Altcoin Secrets newsletter. And when you do that, you also get our free Altcoin Secrets ebook, The Underground Guide to Becoming a Crypto Millionaire. So this was a really interesting post that really got me thinking because I've been worried about this a little bit as well. So when we go back in history, let's not forget. So Mt. Gox, Celsius, BlockFi, FTX. If you've been around crypto for years, you will know all of those. If you're brand new to crypto, understandable. But these are some major problems that happen in crypto. All of them claim to actually hold Bitcoin. All of them ran fractional reserves like the Federal Reserve right now with our crypto, and all collapsed and dumped what little Bitcoin they had into the panic. What that means is they said that they had, 100,000 Bitcoin on hand, but they sold 500,000 Bitcoin. So It was a Ponzi scheme in reality. An estimated total loss from these scams is 800 to 900,000 Bitcoin. And now history may not repeat, but it rhymes. And the reason this is important is because today we're cheering on these companies. You heard this in the intro of the video, and we'll go into this a little bit more. They're calling them treasury opportunities, right? Adding Bitcoin to their treasury. But how much do they really hold? How do we know they're not running a fractional reserve too? We don't, because none of them offer proof of reserves. Now, for multiple reasons. Why, if you were a company, would you want to show your blockchain address? Absolutely not, right? We're hearing about people getting hacked all the time. People are getting their key phrases hacked and then losing all of their money in their crypto wallets. We would definitely have issues if one of these major corporations had their treasuries hacked. So realistically, they shouldn't be showing their wallet address. However, on the other side of things, they should be showing their actual wallet address so we can know that they really hold the funds that they say they hold. So in the past, companies like Celsius and FTX bragged about their Bitcoin exposure until it was too late. When liquidity dried up, they sold what they could. Bitcoin was just another asset to liquidate. The same thing could happen again. Companies that bought Bitcoin now could be forced to sell it later, not because they hate Bitcoin, but because they need fiat and they need it fast. Maybe they have some debt, they have redemptions, lawsuits, margin calls. The pressure is inevitable at some point. So for example, what if Michael Saylor's strategy started having issues financially with the company underlying financials? They're not just a Bitcoin wallet, and then they started to have issues where they needed to sell some Bitcoin. Then the word gets out that MicroStrategy or Strategy is selling Bitcoin. Then it scares the market. Then they dump, and then the price drops, and then so on and so forth. And you have liquidations. And then all of a sudden, a company like Strategy is bankrupt, and so is the company behind it. And they're having to sell all of their Bitcoin. If you're wondering why Bitcoin hasn't launched yet, maybe it's because we're swimming in paper Bitcoin. No proof, no audit, no accountability. How is this any different from gold centralization? If you are a trusting third party with your Bitcoin, you're part of the problem. So what he's saying here is so we're hearing this every single day. This country bought Bitcoin. This company bought Bitcoin. This state just passed a reserve, blah, 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 right? We're hearing nothing but extremely amazing fundamental news coming out about almost every crypto, but we're not even above our previous all-time highs on Bitcoin or other coins. Why is that? Because if the reality of Bitcoin was really being sold and it wasn't paper Bitcoin, like IOUs, like fractional reserve currency, if this was real Bitcoin being exchanged, traded behind the scenes, we're hearing more and more that Bitcoin is running out of reserves on exchanges. There is no more Bitcoin to buy. We're hearing the same thing with Ethereum. We're hearing the same thing with XRP, yet the price is not shooting up to millions of dollars. Why is that? Let me know your comments down below. I let you know mine. Let me hear what you're thinking. Hey, bull runners, are you feeling FOMO about this bull run without the right financial support? We're here to change that. We're not just about funding, we're about growing your business together. Whether you're investing in crypto, kicking off a new startup, managing your existing business, or looking to expand, we have personalized funding that meets your exact needs. Imagine starting your business or getting capital to invest $100,000 to $250,000 at 0% interest. That's not a dream, it's what we do. We've helped countless entrepreneurs like you with 0% interest funding without needing personal funds, income verification, or collateral. With just a 680 credit score, you qualify. We understand that your business can't wait, so take advantage of our quick funding approach. We look beyond the credit score with inclusive approval process that sees the big picture of your business or investment potential. Our flexible repayments are tailored to match your business cycles, ensuring you can manage repayments without strain. With access to our extensive lending network of over 5,000 options, we're committed to finding the perfect match for your business or investing needs. Plus, you'll have our dedicated team by your side, guiding you through every step of the funding journey. Whether it's buying crypto, hiring new employees, or launching a new product, we're committed to your success. Click the link to connect with our expert advisors and secure your business's future now. Now, on a more happy topic, Solana has generated more 24-hour network revenue than all other layer 1s and layer 2s combined, which absolutely is nutty. On May 13th, they did $7.9 million worth of network revenue. Absolutely astonishing. Great job, Solana. And here's a big deal for every token out there in this category. Coinbase plans to launch CBADA, CB Doge, CBLTC, and CBXRP. So they're going to be doing wrapped tokens for ADA, Dogecoin, Litecoin, and XRP tokens on Base. What's good about this is if they're selling these tokens, they have to be matched 1-for-1. So once they launch these, they will have to actually hold them in reserves as well. The crypto exchange announced that the assets are coming soon, but not yet available, with an official launch date announced later. And this was a big deal. We talked about this in the beginning of the video. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says crypto is going to be part of everyone's 401k. And I completely believe this because people are starting to finally wake up to it. Can you imagine if everyone was buying, like everyone that has a real deal 401k, which you're allowed to invest like $8,000 a year? What if they said, oh, I'll go ahead and I'll put allocation of $1,000 of that for crypto or Bitcoin?
Big news for you guys on the S&P 500. Is that going to change your outlook at all, or the impact that Coinbase has?
Well, we're very happy to be included in the S&P 500. It now means that crypto is here to stay. It's going to be a part of everybody's 401k. It's a testament to the hard work of our employees and our investors. And it's a big appreciation to our customers, too, that helped us get to be one of the most trusted companies in America. And so we couldn't be happier.
Thank you so much.
And as you saw in the very beginning of the video, $12 billion Bitwise just revealed that over 10 countries are buying 200,000 Bitcoin. So again, are they selling paper Bitcoin somewhere? Is this a Bitcoin IOU? They're writing out papers and acting like they sold it. That's worth $20 billion this year. It's happening. But why isn't the price? We've never seen numbers like this being sold before, ever. There's never been announcements like this. And we've had completely crazy price surges in all of cryptos. But for some reason, we're still not above all-time highs on Bitcoin. And check this out. Mr. Money Saver himself, Dave Ramsey's show, flips stance on Bitcoin. This is nuts because he's been an anti-Bitcoiner, saying Bitcoin has arrived and it's here to stay. It should be part of a diversified strategy. So if this guy's talking about it, remember, he's really big into savings, those 401ks like we talked about, it's coming. And talk about real-world assets. $4 trillion asset manager JP Morgan Chase settles first public transaction of tokenized treasuries. So transactions are not just happening digitally anymore on the regular fiat system. They are happening as tokenized. And big, huge news for Ripple and XRP. Ahmed bin Saeed meets with the global finance industry's leaders participating in the Dubai FinTech Summit 2025. The meeting explored opportunities for collaboration in expanding digital payment infrastructure and accelerating innovation across the financial ecosystem. Check. And Ripple posted this as well, a repost with a quote, "Our president, Monica Long, had the honor of meeting with His Highness Ahmed bin Saeed at Dubai FinTech Summit. We continue to be impressed with the leadership demonstrated by Dubai as it establishes itself as one of the world's leading hubs for digital assets." So congratulations, Ripple. Congratulations to Dubai for being smart and thinking forward when it comes to crypto. And check, this one is kind of frustrating because I know that a lot of you guys have been in crypto for a long time and you probably have held, but check this out. So this person, Crypto King, says, sick to my stomach looking at this 247,000 Bitcoin dumped by individuals, retail, regular people in 2025, scooped up by the rich. Why are they handing over their generational wealth? So as we see, businesses have increased their purchases by 157,000. Funds and ETFs, 49,000. Other, 21,000. Governments, 19,000. But here we are, us normal people, all of your friends and family out there that are paper hands have sold off more than 247,000 Bitcoin. And here is more on that. JP Morgan Chase settles its first transaction on a public blockchain using Chainlink and Ondo to move tokenized treasuries beyond its private network. And this is massive. Crypto Quant reports XRP seller absorption on Binance, signaling a potential breakout ahead, meaning there are more buyers than sellers right now in the system for XRP. Win pump. So speaking of win pump, how high can prices go? XRP price target breakout support a strong bullish continuation towards $3.69 in the short term and $17 in the long term. Some key things to think about. XRP has surged 65% in a month, with technicals pointing to another 45% rally. Liquidation heat map is currently showing $2.68 as key resistance, which we're getting very close to and breaking through, which then could drive us to $2.87 And a symmetrical triangle pattern, which we even talked about yesterday, shows long-term targets of $5.24 and even $17 based on Fibonacci. So as we see right here, this rising wedge has broken out to the upside, aiming for a potential upside target of $3.69 by June, which would be up around 45%. Then we have the XRP heat map here. As you can see, there is actually quite the massive amount downside liquidity here. People started longing like crazy at about $1.90, and you can see it came down, tested that little area, but it's surging to the upside. We do have this $3 mark. There's a couple of lines, some serious heat right there. The Binance XRP USDT liquidation map reveals key liquidity zones where large liquidation events may occur. And these levels often act as magnet zones, influencing price directed based on the amount of liquidity at a given level. Now, as you can see right here at $2.65, 68, all the way up to $2.70, there is a very large accumulation. It was really dark green in here, and it's all getting taken out, or bright green. After that, we have a little surge. We can get up to like 280, then back up into these $3 levels. But I would watch out for a potential breakdown into the $2 range again. And on a much larger time scale, XRP is showing signs of a breakout from the symmetrical triangle, forming 2-week chart since 2025's beginning, which may lead to a broader bullish continuation trend for months to come. Now, this one does have a price target of $17 based upon the Fibonacci's as we can break out. But as you can see, when we broke out of this level here, then we created another symmetrical triangle pattern right here that we are finally breaking out of, getting us into the levels of above $5. If we apply the same rules as this little baby symmetrical triangle to the larger symmetrical triangle here, we are going to be getting a multi-year symmetrical triangle breakout, which entered its breakout stage in November, and the upside target is over $17. Also, pretty amazing here, CFTC commissioner will step down, and they're going to become the Blockchain Association CEO. Summer Mersinger is expected to leave the commission 3 years before her term ends and lead the Blockchain Association. In a May notice, the Blockchain Association said that its current CEO, Kristen Smith, would step down for Mersinger on May 16th, allowing an intern head of the group to work until the CFTC commissioner assumes the role on June 2nd. Though her term at CFTC was expected to last until April 2028, the BA said Mersinger is set to leave the agency on May 30th. This obviously opens the way for President Trump to nominate another member to the financial regulator. Rules require that no more than 3 commissioners belong to the same political party. Trump chose the former commissioner Brian Quartez to chair the CFTC in February, but his nomination was not moved through the Senate for a vote in roughly 3 months. Commissioner Christy Goldsmith Romero reportedly said that she plans to leave the agency once Quintens is confirmed, potentially giving Trump the chance to nominate 3 new commissioners to fill the 5-seat panel. All right, so heading over to the charts for XRP, we're using the spider lines, which if you're new to the channel and my segment, if you take the weekly drop from 2018 and you use the tool called the Ray on TradingView, and you use the top of the drop candle for the starting point of your Ray, and the pivot point is the high of April 2021, it then gives you a ray into the future, which has actually been tremendously accurate predicting support and resistance for XRP in our current level. So when we switch to the daily levels, as we see here, we do have this level that we finally broke to the upside, this $2.52 level. And we had a continuation candle yesterday confirming that the breakout, we even had a retest on the candle of today. Now, today's candle will end in 1 hour and 25 minutes. A couple of things can happen here. We are going to get tomorrow's continuation candle to the upside. Our next target is going to be $2.84 according to our spider lines. Now, what's really great news is we have officially broken into new higher high level territory. So we have new confirmed market structure here. Our next candle that we need to break above is these here, which you can see have acted as resistance already, $2.60. So once we break 260, then our next levels are 275, but in reality, we're going to be making that push to the 280 level. Long-term momentum on the daily charts, as you can see, we are green. So we are still riding bullish to the upside, which is fantastic. We are peaking out here. We are getting up From our short-term momentum cycle resetting at zero, we had a nice solid push. Check this out. So from zero, from this level right here, which is essentially the bottom, $2.13, this whole ride to the upside has been fantastic with our shaft trend cycle. There is a possibility we level out at the top here for a little bit, but the reality is we may even come back down for a retest of the zero level on our short-term trend cycle. That is okay. Even if this does reset and we're riding bullish here, there's a potential that we just consolidate sideways for a couple of days, letting the 10 exponential moving average catch back up to us. So we're going to be watching for that 10 exponential moving average. Do we pull back down to it, or does it just consolidate sideways until it catches up? Now, what's really exciting, we could just continue trending sideways for the 100 level for several days, because when we look at the weekly, we have just barely started making our move to the upside. This is so exciting because last time we reset on our short-term momentum wave, shaft trend cycle down near zero, which was here. That was right before the breakout from 55 cents to all-time highs. So if we take a look at this and we measure this out from the breakout to the all-time high right there, it was a 578% move. So let's go ahead and go from where we are today, and let's go up a 578% move. 578, 580 is set. 572 will work. $17.87. So if we get that same move of a 500% move, like we have potential of doing, like we did during this last short-term reset, and we do this right up to the 100 level, 500%, there's a possibility we do reach that $17.87 level.
Hey, bull runners, check this out. If you want to learn how to find the next 10x, 50x, or even 100x altcoin in this video, listen to this. Our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1 and is currently still up over 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap, or 16 cents, back on February 18th of 2023, all the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th, 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. And the bull run is just getting started. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University. Just go through the link in the description below, get in right now, watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers,